What is up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel, Mystic Watch, and today we're doing a in-depth analysis featuring Obito Uchiha. This analysis, like the previous one with Itachi, is going to be using the Reddit instead of my old style, just because it is more concise. Everything that all the information is present here, so it makes the video shorter, and I'm just able to get through it faster, so the video isn't like dragging on for 20 minutes. So other than that, I'm going to stick to this style and let me know what you guys think. But starting off, Obito Uchiha, Despair of Loneliness. Oh, and before we start, make sure to check out the Reddit, guys. The link will be down below. All for all your Naruto blazing needs are here. So, Obito Uchiha, Despair of Loneliness. Base cost 80, the highest cost in the game, similar to Madara. He's the second one. He is a Wisdom type. And then he has vast range. That's the biggest thing. So just like Minato, he has vast range. Minato being bravery, Obito being wisdom, which is probably why they wanted to make the next vast range character not bravery. Even though he would have been a better fit on bravery, he's not there. Max HP 1480, max attack 1506. So this number right here, 1480, is roughly 200 more than Minato. And this number right here, 1506, is roughly 50 more than Minato as well. So in terms of raw stats, Obito just has a higher stat line than Minato. When it comes to field and buddy skill, reduced damage taken by 15 to 20%. Possibly the best, if not the second best, field skill to have at the game behind field healing. And just a quick note, the field skills always reflect off the range of the unit. So if someone has a short range, the field skill will only be active within that range of theirs. If someone has, if someone has vast range, the field skill will be active within that vast range, and that's just how it works. So being that he's vast range with this field skill, it's even more effective than what you'd think, because it's always going to be active in a sense. Then you got the buddy skill, 15% chance of dodging an attack. Not the best buddy skill, but definitely not useless by any means. Like if he had like reduced immobilization chance by 20%, that would just be useless. So let's move on to the jutsus. 8 chakra, huge chakra amount, the highest in the game. 7 times attack in wisdom to all enemies in range. 80% chance of slip damage for 5 turns and knocks them back. So 7 times attack. If talking about, you're looking at a solid like 10,000, 11,000 damage right here to all enemies in range. 80% chance of slip damage for 5 turns and knocks them back. And then the ultimate jutsu, 16 chakra, right? Double the normal jutsu for a 15.5 times attack to all enemies and knocks them back. Keyword is all enemies, whereas every other jutsu in the existence of history is that's AoE, is all enemies in range. Right, so his normal jutsu, if you haven't seen it already, you can check it out from the in-game notices. His ultimate jutsu hits everything on the map, like literally everything. So there's no range indicator. It's just when you activate the ultimate jutsu, everything glows like they're about to get hit, and then it knocks everyone back away from where he's standing. So away from him. Pretty straightforward. The biggest thing is, how good is this 16 chakra? Is it really worth it for the 16 chakra? Well, that's what we're going to get into, right? That's the whole point of the analysis. So it lets you guys know what Obito is actually capable of, where he stands, where he fits, why you should spend pearls on him, why you should not spend pearls on him. So I'll give you guys all the information. You guys can make that decision on your own. So when it comes to his ultimate damage, right? We'll go over the ultimate jutsu. The normal jutsu is less significant, but I'll take a look at that in a second. So actually, let's take a look at the dupe abilities before we move on to the damage wise. So dupe abilities: reduces chakra gauge by 1. The first unit to have this, for example, it's just the first unit to ever have this at all. So the way it works is that it doesn't take away like 1 chakra. It removes a bar of chakra from the character's gauge. So just like how people have 4 and 8 chakra, this would make it, if for example for 4 and 8, it would go to 3 and 6. And for Obito's case, it would go from 8 and 16 to 7 and 14. So, because you're removing one, since the chakra gauge can overlap, you know, like you charge up, in Obito's case, you charge up 8 chakra, then you can charge up another 8, that's 16. So if you're removing a whole bar, it removes one chakra bar, you know, one chakra from his normal jutsu, one, and then an extra one from his ultimate side. So it's always going to be one. The way it works is that whenever you remove a chakra gauge, it'll be 1 off from the normal jutsu, 2 off from the ultimate. So if you get this first ability, it'll go from 816 to 714, right, respectively. And then you have 3 of these, which is the 5% chance of dodging. You know, 15 overall 15% chance isn't anything amazing, but it's definitely noticeable. If he had attack ups in there instead, I'd say it'd be really good, and it'd be a must-have type of thing. But he doesn't. But these aren't bad. But the last one is, you know, the key one, reduces chakra gauge by 1 again. So it goes from 7 and 14 to 6 and 12 now, making him the same exact size as Madara now, which is pretty good. And that's what we're gonna go over. So, like, I'll go over the damage that having each of those does, and if it's really worth it. Well, the damage stays exactly the same, but oh, here's the calculator. This is the number for his ultimate jutsu, including pills. So if I was to use 1506 at 100 attack for the pills, you'd get this number right here, right? 24,893. And we're not looking at type effective. We're just looking at, you know, the raw damage. So what we're gonna go here is, thanks to this guy right here. I mean, you know, he's the guy who wrote the optimal heart analysis. I showed him off with the Itachi in-depth analysis as well. So it's really helpful because he has all the damages per chakra written out. Unfortunately, this wasn't updated to include Obito, so that's why I went ahead and did it myself. And as you can see, the damage per chakra is determined on the ultimate jutsu. All units are max level and abilities, so this takes into account limit breaks, dupe abilities as well. So 16 chakra, right? If you get one Obito and just the one Obito and nothing but that Obito, his damage per chakra is 1556. So where would he fall on his ultimate jutsu? He'd fall right between these two units, right? So as you can see, it's not too high, but if we go through it, you know, we got single target, single target, single target. I gotta double check these ones because I honestly can't remember. Single target, single target. So, like, I have to double check the Jiraiya and the Konohamaru and Karin, but because I mean, like, no one uses, just you literally never see these guys. But he falls right here, right in between this Zabuza and Hinata. That doesn't seem that good, but the thing is, here, let's take a look really quickly. So who's like, no, actually we can take a look right here, thanks to Anton Labs. I was going to use this as well, the top nuker page. There we go. So yeah, everyone else that I just listed right here are all single targets, right? So, you know, they're just straight up all single target damage. We're gonna move this over here. So as of right now, before Obito came out, the farmable pain was the highest damage dealing AoE unit. Right, a free unit was the highest damage dealing unit, followed by a max limit broken Shikakugara. So, you know, thinking about that now is that puts him here above. That makes him the best AoE unit, right? But how good is that really? You have to take into account that this will always hit everything, no matter what. So range is never going to be a problem, especially for boss battles when you know, you're trying to get rid of, like, let's say Yugito, right? You're trying to get rid of the tail, you're trying to get rid of, like, a forehead or something, and you can hit everything with this. So it's pretty straightforward. Next up, was I gonna do? Okay, so now if let's say we get one dupe ability, right? So we go from 16 to 14 chakra. That puts him at 1778 damage per chakra. So he goes from like in between these two to in between these two. And it's the same thing. It's not too much of a jump, but a bigger jump is between the 14 chakra and the 12 chakra. So if you manage to get all 5 duplicates, right? Or, you know, the base plus 5, yeah. All 5 duplicates and he goes to 12 chakra. His damage per chakra jumps up to 2074, which puts him right here. And that's pretty good. You know, like having 2074 damage per chakra for an AoE unit is pretty solid. Right? He's no Utakata, but like in terms of how much damage he puts out. But the key thing is that he hits everything. Right? And for 12 chakra, if you manage to do that, that is pretty good. So what he offers for 12 chakra is pretty great. What he offers for 16 chakra, I'm going to say is average. So my consensus, or my final, let's see. My final say on the matter is that he's okay for one. Just getting one isn't anything important, right? Unless you're planning to whale out and buy, you know, like manage to pull 5 or 6 of him, right? Just to get, you know, him fully maxed out. I don't think he's worth pulling for. He's good, but it's not that, like, that's the reason to not pull on him, is that he's not worth it for a single copy when you have things like blazing, not like anniversary happening sometime soon. That's the key thing. Yes, he's good, you know. His damage is the highest when it comes to his normal jutsu. He does the highest AoE damage. When it comes to his ultimate jutsu, he does the highest AoE damage for wisdom. So yes, if you got him, you'd have the strongest AoE unit. But is that enough? You know, I don't think so. So that's why I say skip him. You don't need him right now. Anniversary's coming. With that being said, my summon video will be out tomorrow just because I like to pull on everything. So, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you all then.